synagogues around the world, a second Torah will be taken out so that a special portion could be read. This week, it will be the portion to remember what the nation of Amalek did to us. So let me give you a little brief history. When the Jews left Egypt, they were riding high. God had protected them. God had sent them 10 plagues upon the Egyptians to prove to the world that God was the protector and soon to be the deliverer of the Jewish people. He took them out of Egypt. He split the sea for them. Miracles upon miracles to defend this tiny nation. And guess what? It had this impact. Not only were the Egyptians defeated, but the rest of the nations of the world were too scared to even approach and attack the nation of the Jewish people. Except one exception, the nation of Amalek. They thought, hey, no one's invincible. There's always got to be a point of attack. There's got to be something that can be done. And so they attacked the weak, the stragglers. But they did more than that. They also took the Jews from their high point and brought them down. They planted doubt in their minds. Until now you thought, you defeated the greatest king, the strongest king of that time, Pharaoh. You think you're invincible? You're not. There's always going to be a place where we will be able to get you. And that's why, like everything in the Torah, things are exact, and the numerical value of the Hebrew word of Amalek has the same numerical value as the word safek, doubt. And that's the worst thing for the Jewish people. The uncertainty makes you incapable of success. You're always worried. You're always looking behind your back. And that's what Amalek did. Worse than the actual damage was the future doubt that the Jewish people had. Would they really be able to make it safe to the land of Israel? So Amalek, in a sense, cooled off the passion and also opened up the door for other nations to think, hey, if Amalek was able to breach God's protective armor, hey, then they're open game for everyone else. And Jews for thousands of years have lived with this. As soon as we think that we have a safe moment, another nation comes along and destroys our certainty and our faith in the future. I just saw an interview with Rachel Goldberg, the mother of Hirsch, that 23-year-old who was at the festival and was captured, his hand being blown off from the elbow down. And she wears that piece of tape with each day marked off, today being day number 168. And she was asked, do you really believe? Do you believe that your son is still alive? Do you believe that you can have your son back? And she said to the interviewer, I have to believe. I don't have any other option. And the Jewish people, as much as we've been hit and banged down, and every time we thought we were finally on some road of safety, some road of success, something else occurs that makes us rethink and doubt. Do we really have a future? Can we really accomplish God's mission on this earth? But we have to be like Rachel Goldberg. We don't have a choice. We were given the promise. And the only antidote to Amalek is not doubt, God forbid, but is the certainty of faith. That just like we've been victorious over the Amaleks throughout our history, we will be victorious today as well. The story of Purim is very relevant because Haman was a descendant of Amalek. And up to the last day, he must have thought, my plan is working just perfectly. I am going to do the Jews in, and I will become the second most powerful man in the nation. And guess what? At that last moment, when he thought there was nothing going to stop him, his whole world turned over. Mordechai became the favored. Mordechai became the one that he had to lead on a horse. Mordechai, together with Esther, eventually took ownership of the entire house of Haman, and the Jews were saved. Haman, an Amalekite, was not successful. On the contrary, met his bitter end. And that will be the same for every Amalek who challenges us and dares to stop the vision of God and the mission that he has for the Jewish people, to eventually live in peace in the land of Israel, with the coming of Mashiach speedily in our day. Don't let doubt creep in. It's the worst thing for a Jewish person. Be certain, be confident that we already know what the final story is going to be. And if you believe that, the journey will look much different as well. Have a good Shabbos.